Hello, gamers, and welcome back to Pixel Positive Gaming. So, as you no doubt have heard by now, Sony has finally unveiled some of the games coming to its new revamp of PlayStation Plus. You may remember back in April, Sony finally confirmed that PlayStation Plus was getting revamped and it would be available in three different tiers. The Essential tier, which is essentially, no pun intended, PlayStation Plus as it currently is, online multiplayer and uh, two titles, sometimes more, each month. Then we've got the extra tier, which is similar to an Xbox Game Pass. It gives a catalog of PlayStation 4 and PlayStation 5 titles. And then the premium tier, which is all the previous tiers as well as a catalog of classics from the PS1, PSP, PS2, and a streaming selection of PS3 games. So up until now, we have not really had any idea as to what kind of games would be coming to this service, other than the fact that Sony has confirmed that they will not be launching titles day and date, first-party titles, that is, day and date on this service. So today they revealed through a blog post that the extra tier will include games like Ghost of Tsushima Director's Cut, Returnal, Spider-Man, both Miles Morales and the regular Spider-Man, Red Dead Redemption 2, Assassin's Creed Valhalla, and many more. I mean, we're talking The Last of Us, Uncharted, Nathan Drake Collection, Uncharted 4, Days Gone. So many games. Horizon Zero Dawn, some smaller, lesser-known titles like Gravity Rush. We're getting quite a selection of games for the extra tier. I was actually quite impressed with the catalog that we got. Sony could have really they really could have phoned it in and given us much less. But I think for the extra tier, that is a very admirable catalog to launch with. And it's also worth noting that the catalog that Sony revealed today is not the entire catalog. It's just a glimpse. We also were told that they would be adding Ubisoft Plus Classics. So that would include games like Assassin's Creed Valhalla, the Far Cry games, some other Ubisoft games. So that was actually a pretty big shock for me, because we found out some time ago that Ubisoft Plus would be coming to Xbox, but here we are finding out that Classics is actually going to launch on PlayStation Plus. It'll be available for the extra tier and the premium tiers, and then the full Ubisoft Plus service will also just launch on PlayStation in general. I do think it's worth noting as well that notably The Last of Us 2 is actually not on the service. Even though newer titles like Ghost of Tsushima Director's Cut and Death Stranding Director's Cut and games like Returnal are on the service. I don't know. To me, I feel like that might imply that we will be getting a Director's Cut of The Last of Us Part 2 soon, which would explain why they don't want the title on the service. They want us to buy The Last of Us Part 2 Director's Cut or upgrade to it. So that, just kind of a thought that I had regarding its absence. I thought it was kind of a notable absence. So the premium tier seems to be the more controversial tier. I mean, we've known this. It is the more controversial tier. It's $18 a month if you buy it monthly. If you go yearly, it's $120. And I don't think the controversy is going to stop. At launch, I don't think the library for the premium tier is very impressive. We're getting just a small number of games. A few of them are for the PS1 or Ape Escape, Hot Shots Golf, Siphon Filter. We're getting only one PlayStation Portable title at launch, Super Stardust Portable from Housemarque. And then the PS2 games that we're getting at launch are the same PS2 games that we have available on the PS4. So we're talking Dark Cloud 1, Dark Cloud 2, Ark the Lad, Jak and Daxter, and a few others. These are great games. I mean, these are excellent games, but it's kind of disappointing to not see anything new for this service. So it's it's an interesting situation. I think that overall the service is an excellent value, but I think that at launch, I think the stronger value is actually in the extra tier. I think the premium tier at this point, we need to see more titles. I will be subscribing to the premium tier because I want to try out these PS1 games. I want to try out the PSP game. Hope they add some soon. They did confirm they will be adding titles to each tier every month, just as they currently do with PlayStation Plus. So that's good that they are committing to doing a monthly release for these games. We don't have to just kind of wait and see what happens. But yeah, so this is not the complete catalog. It's just a glimpse into what we will be getting when the service launches in the United States in June and other territories before then. I do think it's also notable and worth mentioning that you can purchase some of the PS1 games, if not all of them, outside of the service, which is very interesting. And you can also retain your purchases if you purchase these titles on a PS3, a PlayStation Vita. I'm assuming they just said older platforms in the blog post. So that's actually a bit surprising, but it's also very good. I mean, that's something that Microsoft has handled very well on the Xbox side, so I'm glad that we get to see Sony actually embracing some form of backwards compatibility in the sense that we get to retain our old purchases. Also worth mentioning, some or maybe all of the PS1 classics will support save states and potentially performance or resolution boosts. For me, this just kind of proves what I've been saying for a while over on my website, Pixel Positive Gaming, that this service is essentially it's a hybrid of existing services. The extra tier gives you that Game Pass catalog of more current games. The premium tier gives you that curated library of classics, similar to Nintendo Switch Online. And then one of the other features of the premium tier is the game trials, where you get to play the full version of a game for 2 hours, and you get to, as far as we know, whatever you can accomplish in 2 hours, I mean, you can. And that comes from EA Play. EA Play does that very well. It's a nice feature. I don't think the feature should be gated behind a service, but I am glad to see demos in some form. So yeah, it just proves that PlayStation, the new revamped PlayStation Plus, is Sony just kind of picking elements from different subscription services and applying them to their own service. But I think as this library grows, it will definitely get better. This is a very strong foundation. I would have liked to have seen a much better classics library. I'm hoping that they have a few more up their sleeve. But I think that overall, this is a good foundation. This is a good starting point for launching a service. I mean, they've got to start somewhere. They cannot just launch a service at the caliber of something like Game Pass. Game Pass has had some years to get well established. I mean, I love Xbox Game Pass. I've subscribed to that. I'm glad that Sony is launching. It's similar. I've argued that this isn't really a competitor to Game Pass. I don't think it, for me personally, it really isn't, because it's just a different strategy. But I think I'm glad that Sony is launching a service like this and improving PlayStation Plus. I mean, for Sony, this service is all about increasing value for current subscribers and making the PlayStation ecosystem just a little bit more enticing. I mean, if you go to the store and you buy a PlayStation 4, or if you somehow find PlayStation 5 and you're able to get this service, I mean, you're going to have an excellent catalog of games that will just guide you right through last generation's Sony games and even current generation Sony games, as well as some of the great third-party titles. So, I mean, I think this is a supplement of Sony's current strategy of releasing blockbuster first-party titles, and it gives them more recurring revenue, which is something we know that they want. It's why they bought Bungie. They want to pursue more live service games and some recurring revenue streams, and this will provide that for them. I mean, yeah, I understand the controversy with this service, but I think that overall, I think this is a good service. I think it's a good start. Um, I think that if they actually stay with it and they add some good games, and we'll get some deeper cuts or some better third party PlayStation 1 games or PSP games. I mean, come on, Final Fantasy 7 Crisis Core, please. Or Legend of Dragoon, come on, Sony. Um, could have a very great service on our hands, and while I don't really want to have yet another service out in the world, like a subscription service, if the service provides a good value, then I'm all for it. And I think that this service does provide a good value. So yeah, I mean, what do you guys think of the new PlayStation Plus? Are you excited about it? Are you kind of cautious? Are you thinking about getting it? I mean, I know I understand. I completely understand not wanting to dive into premium yet. So I mean, if you are going to subscribe, are you just going to stick with essential, or are you going to upgrade to the extra tier? Are you going to go all in for the premium? I think I am going to go for the premium, just so I can try those PS1 games and see how well they are how well they run on the PS5. But yeah, let me know what you guys think. And I mean, please, if you like the video, give me a like. If you just want to talk about video games like I do, just subscribe, leave me a comment, and we'll chat. But yeah, I mean, I think we have a lot to look forward to from Sony as far as this service is concerned. So I'll definitely be monitoring it, and we'll see how it is when it launches in June. Until next time, guys.